Tesla Model 3 and Model Y just got even more affordable, but the reason why may just be even more interesting, and that's why we have the InsideEVs contributor Tom Moloughney join us to give us a bigger picture. Jaguar makes a stunning announcement about their electric car lineup, with one model getting voted off the island. We watched the Hummer EV do donuts in the snow, but it's the donut inside the refreshed Tesla Model S that gave us the chills. See what I did there? Volkswagen's yet another EV goes on sale later this year, but will it come to the United States? Elon Musk versus Bill Gates feud heats up with a compliment. That's gotta be awkward. Hyundai and GM take different approach to how not have their EVs burst into flames. Another great electric car cancelled in the US. Will have a moment of silence, and Volkswagen will get a chance to surpass Tesla in battery tech with a breakthrough. All of this is coming up next. Welcome to E4 Electric. That's right, we're kind of like 7-Eleven for electric car fans. We got everything at any time of day, so don't forget to hit on that subscribe button and the bell notification icon so you don't miss anything moving forward. Like the upcoming segment with Sandy Munro with some very interesting claims, you don't want to miss that one. And I checked out the Polydrops trailer that was specifically designed to preserve the range for electric cars. It reminds you of something? Maybe you've seen at the Tesla unveiling? Well, we'll check it out, so don't forget to subscribe. Alright, so let's get to the top story, and it's a good one because Tesla is dropping the prices for some of their base models. So this way, if you're buying a Model 3 or Model Y, you'll have some money left over to, for example, become a Patreon for this channel. Wait a second. I was just woken up out of my nap because apparently Tesla decided to stop taking orders for the base Model Y. Now, this video was all done and ready to go live in a few hours, and so this is an unfortunate development, but I do think that this is temporary. They've done this with the Model S before. They took the base version away, then put it back in, and they do have to compete in this price segment with the ID.4 and Mach-E and others that are coming to market. So I think they are going to put it right back. Of course, logic and reasoning doesn't always work when it comes to Tesla, but I think the smart money is on the fact that pretty much everything that we're talking about in this video is still relevant. So enjoy the rest of it, and I'm going back to sleep. Model 3 price is being dropped by $1,000 to $36,990. Now, of course, it's not all the way down to the ever elusive $35,000 price tag that originally was the goal, and Tesla did get there for like 20 minutes, and then it was moved to the secret menu, like it's like a Incredible Hulk burrito at Taco Bell, which is, by the way, totally true. There is a secret menu at Taco Bell. Now, the base price for the Model Y was dropped by $2,000, which is about 5% of the price, to $39,990, and now it's less than $1,000 away from what was originally promised at the unveiling, and then got canceled and then brought back at the higher price. So now it's almost there. So it's never boring. I reached out to Tesla for comment, and here's what they had to say.
We're sorry. You have reached a number that has been disconnected or is no longer in service.
That's right, Tesla has dissolved their PR department, so there's nobody to talk to. I'm assuming they're saving money. By the way, speaking of Tesla's money, they made about like $500 million already just on their Bitcoin investment? Yeah. Now, the interesting part is that the prices for the performance version of both models have actually gone up by $1,000, and I'm assuming this is all part of the price adjustments for Tesla, anticipating some of the competition that's coming this year, including the recently unveiled Bolt EUV, which I'll have a chance to drive in Los Angeles next week. Alright, so this poses probably more questions than answers, and that's why I have the InsideEVs contributor Tom Moloughney, who will join us in just 1 second. But before that, a quick reminder that this video and this channel is sponsored by NeoCharge. If you are a renter having to share a dryer, the NeoCharge Smart Splitter knows how to share. It's a lost art. When the dryer is on, your smart splitter will stop EV charging and resume it once the laundry is done. Use the discount code in the description of this video to get yours today. And by Bosley, are you losing hair like me? Well, you don't have to. I just got my hair transplant a month ago, but Bosley offers a number of different surgical and non-surgical solutions for you to choose from. Get your free information kit and a discount at bosley.com/e or use the link in the description of this video. All right, Tom, another price drop from Tesla. No one's complaining about that, but $1,000 for Model 3 base and $2,000 for Model Y base. Now, it's about 5%. What's behind it? Because I don't see people saying like, whoa, now it's $1,000 cheaper. I'm definitely going to go for it. I know you have a theory of what's really behind that.
Yeah, well, a couple things. First of all, yes, some people will say, oh, now I'll buy it, it's $1,000 cheaper. Not everybody are famous YouTubers that are just rolling in the dough, Alex. Some people, need to have a budget and they have a certain amount of money they can spend. But I think this is definitely some pressure on some of the competition, pressure on Tesla from some of the competition that's coming to the market. We're finally getting some really good electric vehicles that are going to compete and take some of the market share from Tesla. Like I said earlier, you can't underestimate how important it is that Tesla finally now has some competition. These vehicles, the Mach-E, the ID.5, the Nissan Ariya, maybe even the Bolt EUV to some extent that are coming out. These are good electric, solid electric vehicles that for the first time, Tesla actually has competition that people can look at and say, you know what, that might be a better electric vehicle for me. So yeah, it's got to be part of the reason why we're saying this.
Yeah, I absolutely love the competition that's going to happen. It's going to make every brand better, including Tesla. But all right, now 5% off is, you're right, it's not bad. But with about 20% of profit margin, that's 25% off that profit margin. That might hurt Tesla a little bit. How do you see them handling that?
So I'm not worried about Tesla's profits. I'm sure their bean counters have this all figured out. But the volume, maybe lower prices. Maybe this is going to add some volume to their sales. With volume drives down all of your costs. I'm sure that, they know what they're doing and they wouldn't have done this price decrease if it was going to cause some kind of instability in the company.
All right, now the performance models actually have gone up while the base models have gone down. What's the strategy there?
Well, the weird thing was, I remember sometime I think last year, I'm pretty sure, they had a big price decrease for the performance versions. I think it's still, even with this increase, it's still not what it was when the Model 3 first launched. So I think it's still a relatively good deal if you want to get the performance version. But I'm not so sure how many, I'd love to see the breakout and see how many people order the performance version. I think it's a kind of an insignificant number. I don't think it's that big of a number anymore. So, I don't see this as really affecting them at all. I don't think it's going to make up, let's say, for the money that they lose by the price decrease. But maybe that's why they're doing this, hoping to get some of that money back.
All right, now this price decrease is great, right? But there might be a bigger one coming for Tesla. And I know, a lot of people have been excited about it. It's a possibility. Tell the audience a little bit about that.
So yeah, there's been a lot of rumors about the Biden administration revitalizing the tax credit for both Tesla and Chevrolet. The rumors have that they're really pushing to have the tax credit get rewritten so that once the automaker reaches the 200,000 vehicle sold mark, the tax credit stays, but it drops from 7,500 to a maximum of 7,000. So if that gets passed, and I know it's getting bundled in with a bunch of other things, how government works. So who knows if this is actually going to really materialize. But A lot of people think it's going to, and if that happens, you're looking at $7,000 off of a Model 3. Now, take the standard range now that they just dropped down to, the 36,990. You're talking about under $30,000 if that tax credit gets brought in. Now you're bringing it down to where the average person can afford it. Especially many states have their additional incentives. My state here in New Jersey has $5,000 off. If the tax credit comes back, I could walk out of the dealership or the Tesla showroom with a $25,000 Model 3. That's the price point where the Toyota Camry and the Honda Accord start at. So, this would be a real boom for people that maybe the Model 3 is out of reach right now, the Model 3 or Model Y. This will bring it right back into their wheelhouse, and some of the less fortunate income people will be able to get a Tesla.
Yes, you're right. I mean, not all of us have enough money to afford a Tesla Model 3, Tom. That is correct. I can't wait to see more of them on the road. All right, if you want to watch Tom do some really cool things with his fancy Tesla and some other electric cars, well, subscribe to his YouTube channel. I put a link to it in the description of this video. Now let's move on to our second story, and I gotta say, this is one of the biggest stories that has gone unnoticed. Kind of like me in high school. That's okay. I got money now, for all the therapy. But the big news is that Jaguar will only have all electric vehicles in its lineup by 2025. That's just about 4 years. That's faster than any legacy automaker. There will be a sacrifice that will have to be made to the electric gods, and the one that will be thrown off of the cliff will be the XJ sedan, which I always thought was a very beautiful car, but because of its size, it's gotta go. Now, the only EV that Jaguar makes right now is obviously the I-Pace, and its sales have fallen about 5% in 2020 to around 16,500, which is about 16% of the total Jaguar sales. Now, I have a confession to make. Well, no, not that type of a confession. Not yet, at least, but a few months ago, during the end of the year sales, I thought I would be able to pick up an I-Pace at a ridiculous discount because, I was looking at their sales numbers and I thought they can't sell them, so here I come. But guess what? Not even close. Every single Jaguar dealership told me that they had no problem selling their I-Pace vehicles, and I thought, well, of course they're telling me this now, but another couple of weeks, and guess what? Before those couple of weeks were over, all of the I-Pace cars were gone. So it looks like they sold everything that they've made, and let's remember that Waymo has a standing order with them for up to 20,000 of I-Pace vehicles to convert them into their robotaxis. Now, here in California, the only way we know it's winter is when our grass is turning green. And I know it sounds crazy for the rest of you guys, but this is the only time of the year when the sun is not burning the hell out of the grass and some of our national parks. But I am originally from Russia, and I remember this thing called snow, and if you're properly dressed, playing around in it could be a lot of fun. And you don't even have to wear the red star, but just in case. You never know. And that's why I found this video of the refreshed Tesla Model S Plaid playing in the snow. Very nostalgic, but check this out. Look at the round steering wheel. So I guess it's a donut, not a yolk. And speaking of donuts, check out this Hummer EV doing donuts in the snow, proving once again that even though if you have a little Bitcoin portfolio, you can still have a lot of fun. Now, before I get to another story of the battle between two billionaires, I wanted to mention that yet another electric car is coming to the market, which was kind of off of my radar until the last couple of weeks. I'm talking about the Volkswagen ID.5. Now, there is no official video just yet, but essentially it is going to be a sportback version of the ID.4, but once again, we don't know if this car is going to be coming to America. All right, so now we get to the big billionaire fight, and of course I'm talking about Elon Musk and Bill Gates. By the way, why do rich people fight so much? I thought money is supposed to make you happy. Now, recently, Bill Gates said in his personal blog that the electric semi-trucks are not viable. And even though he wasn't specifically talking about Tesla, Elon took it personally and fired back at him, saying that Gates has no clue. Now, guess who else does not agree with Elon about whether or not the semi-trucks should be powered by the battery packs? It's a big name. he is definitely a fan of Tesla, but that's all I'm going to tell you. So if you have a guess, put it in the comment section of this video. And by the way, while you're there, click on that subscribe button because I will air that video in the next couple of weeks. All right, back to the billionaire drama. And there are a lot of little petty things here and there, like Bill Gates bought the Porsche Taycan rather than Tesla Model S, and then Elon recently suggested that Gates shortened Tesla. But when Bill Gates was on a Sway podcast, and even though we don't know if it was taped before or after latest comments from Elon, Bill Gates said this. He said, "What Elon did with Tesla is one of the greatest contributions to climate change anyone's ever made." And I agree. Now, Elon responded on Twitter with his own compliment. I'm just kidding. You can't use Twitter for compliments. I think it goes against their terms of use. Hyundai is doing something very nice for the owners of electric Kona and IONIQ in Korea. They're getting a brand new battery. That's right. You're getting a new battery. You're getting it. Everybody is getting a new battery, unless you don't have an electric Kona or IONIQ because it got burned down. Then you're actually getting a whole new car. So everybody wins. Now, unfortunately, everything in that story is actually true. Hyundai will be replacing batteries in all electric Konas and IONIQ cars in Korea because a few of them did catch on fire and it was traced to the battery packs. Now, this is not going to be cheap. I would say this is about a $2 billion project that will last about a year, and that's just in Korea. Don't forget, Hyundai has sold over 100,000 of those electric cars around the world. Now, we don't know what Hyundai is planning on doing with the rest of those electric cars, but I wouldn't be surprised if they will have to replace all of the batteries in all of those 100,000 plus cars, and that will be a big deal. Now, GM had very similar flammable problems with their bolts, and for now they have issued a temporary fix which essentially limited all of their bolts to 90% of charge. But now GM says that they have found the issue and they will fix it with a software update. Now, I should mention that both manufacturers, Hyundai and GM, are using the LG Chem battery cells, but the problem seems to be different. For example, in Hyundai, it was a cell separator problem, which was not the problem with the GM batteries. Now, of course, as you probably know, the possibility of an electric car catching on fire is much less than a gas car, with all that gas inside catching on fire. But nevertheless, this does give a very bad publicity to the electric cars that a lot of people still haven't accepted. Now, the rumor is that in Korea, Hyundai will replace the LG Chem batteries with SK Innovation batteries. But if they would have to do the same thing here in the United States, well, that would be a problem. And that is actually a huge story on its own because you see, the SK Innovation batteries are banned. That's right, banned in the United States for the next 10 years. That's right, here in America, we can buy booze and guns and in some cases legal drugs. That's not a problem, but SK Innovation batteries, that's where we draw the line. I know it sounds crazy, but let me explain. You see, LG Chem has sued SK Innovation for stealing their intellectual property, and I know it happens all the time. You've probably heard when Tesla did the same thing with other manufacturers, but unlike Tesla, LG Chem actually won that lawsuit, and as a result, SK Innovation is not able to sell their batteries here in the United States for 10 years, with an exception of a couple of existing contracts with Volkswagen and Ford, just so those electric cars will be able to hit the market as planned. Now let's move on, and as you remember, during their battery day last year, Tesla has showcased some breakthrough technology, especially with their 4680 cells. By the way, things you can buy on Etsy, right? And it showcased how far ahead Tesla is of everybody else when it comes to battery technology until now. Now, you see, a while back, the Volkswagen Group has invested $300 million, which is really a pocket change for them, in this company called QuantumScape. And then they formed a joint venture to come up with solid-state batteries. Now, Bill Gates is one of the investors, plus J.B. Straubel, as you know, the co-founder and former CTO of Tesla, is also on their board. Now, recently, QuantumScape has announced a breakthrough in their technology, specifically coming up with the multi-layer cells to help scale up from a lab to production of their solid-state batteries. Even with the technology they have right now, they are able to charge their battery from 0 to 80% in just 15 minutes. They're also planning to build a pre-pilot production line in California. As a matter of fact, the video that you're watching right now was taken in their facility in California. They're targeting 2024 to actually go in production with Volkswagen. As a matter of fact, right now, Volkswagen Group is the only brand that will be benefiting from this technology, at least for the time being. So the Volkswagen Group brands like Audi, Porsche, Volkswagen, and a few others can give Tesla the run for their money, and that's great for all of us, the consumers. Now, I'm not a big Neil Diamond fan, and let me know if you are in the comment section, but I guess he wasn't 100% right. Not everywhere in the world they're coming to America because Mercedes-Benz beg to differ. Yes, Mercedes-Benz has made the final decision not to bring their all-electric SUV EQC to the United States. Now, I am a little disappointed, I have to say. The pricing would be really good at around $60,000 after the incentives, and I really liked the car when I had a chance to drive it in Frankfurt, and I think we're missing out. I think the United States is definitely missing out, but we all know why. China, Europe, they're much better environments for the manufacturers that are selling electric cars, so we gotta catch up. Now, if you are interested in electric cars that are coming to the United States, and you're also wondering, what the hell am I going to watch after this awesome video is over? Don't worry. I've created another video specifically about all of the electric cars coming on the market this year. I linked to it in the description of this video, so check it out. Other than that, see you guys next time, and remember to stay charged.